Okay.
Yo, it's Sid and Dion, brothers on a comedy path. All jokes aside, we about to change the math. Real talk plus no filter equals not your usual chatter. From sports to politics, all subjects matter. Never shallow, we about to go into the deep end. Get ready to dive in, go ahead, grab a friend. Now this is grown people business, keep them kids inside. Now that's debatable, jump on, it's time to ride. Yeah, now that's debatable. Now that's debatable. Here we go. Time to start the show.
Yo, what is good? We are back. It is Wednesday, not our usual day, but we hope some of y'all are going to jump in and hang out with us. I am Sidney Smith. That is my brother Dion Curry. Together, we are Not As Debatable, one of the longest lasting shows to come out of the pandemic. I know y'all were watching all kind of shit during the pandemic. I think we might be the only thing that has lasted. So thank you guys for rocking with us. You know, we like to call you our master debaters because you guys are so great, so awesome, and you support the show so much and so well. So thank you very much. Again, I've been Sydney. That is Dion. Dion, how you doing on this fine Wednesday?
I am very good. Happy Wednesday to all our master debaters. I had a great time at the open mic last night. Got a brand new bit. I kind of told you about it earlier today. I'm very excited about. So yeah, it's a good midweek Wednesday. I got some live action going on right now in the NBA. So hey,
Always, always do, always do. You got anything going on this weekend? Any shows?
I
You hear?
do not.
Okay, I'm gonna say mine off the top of the show because I always forget to say it at the end. Just got the call. I will be at the Tempe Improv starting tomorrow, so I'll be there from Thursday to Saturday, and then you can catch me 2 weeks after that. Also, I will be at Stand Up Live from the 21st to the 23rd. So I'm with Joe Dabrowski tomorrow night and through Saturday, and then I will be with Pete Lee, one of my guys, 21st to the 23rd. So jump on, grab some tickets. We'd love to have you guys come on out and check it out if you're in the Valley. All right, we already got people jumping in with us already. Facebook user, can't see who that is, but thank you for jumping in. Do appreciate you.
Got Malay. She says
Okay,
hello.
all right, that's Malay. What's good, Malay? And then we got someone says Great Wednesday, fam. Is that Malay as
That's
well?
Tanika
Tanika.
Jenkins. So
Tanika, nice. All right, as usual,
happy
the
Wednesday.
ladies. Happy Wednesday. As usual, the ladies beat the men to the show. As usual.
Per usual. It's how we get down.
I do want to ask the folks there who are watching the show real quick, if you guys could go ahead and click that share button, we would be so appreciative. Even if you're embarrassed for your people to know you know two black guys. Go ahead and click it anyway. Go ahead. Show some courage. Janelle says, happy holidays, guys. What's good, Janelle? Thank you for jumping in.
Happy
Appreciate it.
holidays.
And then Facebook you says, Warren's little sister.
Yeah, that's Tanika.
Oh, was that Tanika?
Hmm.
That's right. That's right. I forgot. My apologies. My apologies. That's right. All right. All right. No embarrassment. Thank you very much. No embarrassment. I appreciate it. We got a good show lined up for you guys. It's going to be fun. We're going to jump right into it. Dion, where do you want to go with it? You want to go with the basketball player, or you want to go in the other direction? Some black folks
Let's
in.
go.
All right, all right, all right. I am here. Let's see how many of you are still here with me. I apologize for that. Looks like we had a little bit of a glitch. We're gonna let Dion come back and join back into the show. Here he comes. Dion, you there? I do apologize, folks. This is what happens, I guess, when you try to do a live show. We're gonna get Dion back there. We're gonna jump right into this thing. Dion, I'm gonna drop you off. I'm not sure if you can hear me, but I'm gonna drop you off and have you come back. So we'll do that. So again, we got a fun show. So the first topic is Ocho Cinco. Government name is Chad Johnson, ex NFL player, maybe makes the Hall of Fame. There he is. There you go. That was on me. That was
Yo,
on me
that
that
was
time.
crazy.
Yeah, that was on me that time, I believe. So I was trying to explain to them what the first topic was. So Chad Johnson, aka Ocho Cinco, and his podcast partner Shannon Sharp were talking about a TikToker who's become very popular. His name is Keith Lee. He's a restaurant critic. He's become popular enough that restaurants actually asked him to come in and critique them. And according to Shannon Sharp, There's been some restaurants that have get credit him for them staying open. So he's obviously done something correctly, I would assume. Well, he went on and he talked about some restaurants where the service was bad, where some of his family members he sent in couldn't get a table until they knew who they were with or who they were coming from, things of that sort. And I believe he doesn't like to go in himself because he wants it to be the service that any regular person would get. So,
Correct.
which I like. I like when that if the restaurant doesn't know you're coming, so you can see exactly what's what food wise and so on and so forth. But there was some backlash that came out of Atlanta. I'm not quite sure about this part, but someone told me that there may have been some theft threats that came his way. But black people just taking this black man, and Keith Lee, by the way, I didn't mention that, is a black man. So black people taking this black man to task because they felt like a black man should not be snitching, if you will, on other black people in their restaurants based on their customer service or lack thereof, food, quality, so on and so forth. So Dion and I wanted to kind of talk about it, and we want to hear what you think about it as well. The question is, should Keith Lee, as a black man, and I know all of our viewers are not black, but you guys are adults, you can answer this question. Should he be telling the truth about what type of service he and his family have gotten at these restaurants that he is critiquing? Dion, sir?
So first off, you said he's a food critic. He doesn't call himself a food critic. He says I'm just a foodie who likes to
Critique.
eat food. Right. So with that being said, when you go to a restaurant, and I've been to restaurants with famous people, and I know what that service is like, um, as opposed to just being an everyday person. Um, and I gotta tell you, I much prefer the famous service over the everyday.
Who wouldn't?
Obviously, but when it comes to the critiquing of the food, he's just giving his opinion. And if he say he don't like your food, and millions of people hear him say that, I can understand why that would piss you off as a business. But at the same time, he's, as far as I know, has been honest on every critique that he's given. Like you said, he's kept several businesses open. So I think the pros definitely outweigh any cons that black people will have about him telling the truth about their business.
Shout out to Philip Pippian, if I'm saying that correctly, sir, who's with us. Says salute, fellas. Thanks for jumping in with us, Philip.
My
Philip off.
dog.
Okay, I figured you knew who he was because I had no idea who that man was. That's why I figured he knew you. Philip also says yes, he should tell the truth. Here was my thing about it, and I want to give people because what I didn't do is I didn't put the video up of these two talking about it. Shannon Sharp and Chad Johnson. It's 30 minutes long. You guys are busy people. I didn't think anybody, or next to anybody, would have time to sit around and watch that. Chad Okosinko went the other way with it. He didn't think this black man should be saying anything about black restaurants and their food because it's too hard for black people to make it. Shannon Sharp went the exact other way with it. Because customer service is king, you got to be able to bring it. You're not allowed to have any bad days in customer service. And I definitely wanted to know what you thought about all of this, Dion, because you worked in that industry before you became a big time comic. And you know how I am.
That's
And
cute.
you know how hey man, I'm giving you props. You don't wait tables anymore, right?
That is true.
Okay, all right, motherfucker. I know how I am, and I expect customer to be king when I come to your establishment. I will forgive a meal that is not that great if the customer service is on par. I've even tipped the waitress or waiter, even though the food was not on par because the customer service was extraordinary. Now, of course, I want the food to be great, but if neither one is great, I don't have a problem with telling people, and I don't think anyone else should have a problem. Here's the issue, and this is what I told my friend who was talking to me about this earlier on the phone. We have this problem within our community, and when I say our community, I mean this community, where we think one another is not supposed to be allowed to say anything in front of people who are not a part of this community. And that is always the problem. I've had black people get up from shows because I'm making jokes about black people and get up and leave the club after they got done laughing at me making fun of every other type of person on the planet. So we have this issue where we don't like to be called to the carpet by one another in front of anyone. When are we supposed to say it? Because I can tell you right now, if you call you to the side and try to talk to you, I got the same attitude that I was getting over here. You don't try to resolve anything or fix anything. So when are these things? Excuse me. When are these things supposed to be said, Dion?
Say, my brother, let me talk to you for a minute, my brother. If I could chomp on your ear just for a skosh. No, I agree with you about the pulling people to the side method. If you get poor customer service and then you try to handle it without raising a ruckus, 9 out of 10 times they just, it is what it is. It's one person. You're not making a scene about it, so whatever. Whereas if you are that one person who does make a scene about poor customer service, it tends to get people to act as if they have eyes on them at all times. And so I think Keith Lee speaking to these restaurants having poor customer service is just a call to, hey, step your game up. As you and I both said earlier, he's kept several businesses open by being honest about what they do. So there's no reason if you're one of those restaurants who he says, hey, it was X, Y, and Z negative, then you know before all these people come to show up to your restaurant, step your game up. And it would be a perfect opportunity for you to invite him back in 6 months and go say, hey, we took to heart. And if they made a TikTok, maybe that would help them.
To hear Ocho Cinco say that he would go to a restaurant in Atlanta, I'm gonna go to all of them, all the ones he went to, and no matter what happens, I'm leaving a crazy $5,000 tip, and because this is what are you trying to do? Essentially, you're not helping anyone by doing that, by saying whatever you do is going to be right. And I'm tired of us not being able to be, because then who's supposed to do it? Because we don't want to hear white people say anything about us. We don't want to hear Asians say anything about us. Now we're not supposed to say anything about us. So who's supposed to tell you that you fucking up? And that you running this shitty ass and the fucking greens were overcooked and that mac and cheese is cold and she got a shitty attitude over here and she on her phone smacking on fucking gum when I came in. And it took forever for me to get a cup of water. Because I got news for you. My wife and I will get up and leave any restaurant. I don't give a shit what color the people are. We got up and walked out. If I don't have water on my table within a certain amount of time, and that time is whatever time I designate, I will get up and walk up out this bitch.
10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2,
100%.
1. We gotta go back.
100%.
This bitch
But
didn't bring my water.
100%. But according to some of these people, I'm not supposed to say anything about how you run shit. And
No, I think. Sorry to cut you off,
no,
but
no,
I
no, go
think
ahead, please.
what Ocho and ultimately ended up saying was Keith should be using this platform for positivity instead of negativity. To which Keith came back with just the most uh, utmost slam dunk on him in a response video. I mean, he just completely dismantled every one of Chad's talking points. He started naming off the businesses that he helped save and shows videos of lines out the door for all these people after he done went there. So for me, I understand both sides of it. I understand, and to your whole greater argument of when can we say something, because if you let social media tell it, black men can't even tell black women when they're out of order. All of a sudden, like now that's taboo. You become some type of crazy. Well, you know the terms they use, but
Yes.
you should never shy away from the things that can improve who you are, whether it be a business or a person. So to me, public when people come out in public and say, "Hey, I didn't like this, I didn't like that, I didn't like that," and they hold your feet to the fire, as long as they're telling the truth, I mean, how can you dispute it? What difference does it make if they say the truth in dark or truth in public?
I have a question. I'm gonna go to the comments. So you guys keep them coming, but I want to throw this out to you, Dion. And I want to throw this out to the other African American / black people who are watching us right now. Because this is a question I do have. Is it a particular part of our demographic based on your area, where you grew up, where you're from, that believes that you can't be called to the carpet for what you're doing? versus maybe people who come from a different type of background, because I know where I come from and what I was taught. And where I come from and what I was taught was any critique you're trying to give me, I have to take it, receive it, and figure out what to do with it. And if it's something that does apply, and if it's coming from someone who cares about you at all or is just trying to be constructive, then you got to figure out how to take that and be better, as opposed to saying no, 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 no. We both black. You ain't supposed to say nothing, or you ain't supposed to be out here outing me. I've never saw things that way.
Well, the reason why I think most black people feel like you shouldn't be saying anything about black people in public is because white people don't do it. You rarely see white people call each other out for the bullshit that's going on. Now, since
We
George Floyd, I'd say I've seen it a lot more. But in general, I just think, you know, the behind closed doors conversation for every other group but black people, I mean, there's never been a push for any of those groups to do it publicly. Whereas, you know, I think it's just part of social engineering on the part of the United States where, you know, black people are always in a combat situation, whether it's within or without. So,
Okay, all right. Let's go to some comments here. Let's see what's happening here. Chelsea's in here with us as usual. What's up, Chelsea? Thank you for jumping in and supporting every week. Philip says black restaurants have bad service too. Keep it 1,000. People don't want the truth, and that's where I'm at with it, Philip, as well. I mean, every week I get a chance to watch Gordon Ramsay get on and just flame white people, go into their bars and whatnot. And frankly, it scares me to death to go and eat any place when I see some of the way these places are kept. But I'm with you, Philip. We don't want the truth often enough. Let's see here. Philip agrees, says me too. In facts, Facebook user here, I'm not sure who this is, says, "What up, players?"
that's Katarina. What up, Katarina?
What up, Katarina? Thank you for jumping in here with us. I see someone saying yo, yo, yo as well.
That's your homegirl, Leah Craig.
Oh, shit, Aaliyah. Oh, Aaliyah's going to be perfect to have on for this one, I'm guessing. What's up, Aaliyah? Roxy's in with us, says, hi, guys. She also
What up,
says these.
Roxy?
She says these restaurants invited Keith, and he tends to be respectful as possible. Ocho retracted his statements because he was clearly commenting without a backstory or knowing who Keith is or his story. You know what? I feel like Ocho had enough of a background just based off what Shannon told him in that 30-minute clip. I feel like for whatever reason, Ocho wanted to run in the opposite direction and exactly to the point what I'm talking about. No, you ain't supposed to say nothing about black people. You black. It's hard enough for us to be out here. You know what's hard? It's hard to be a black person going in to support another black person, being gouged on pricing and being given bad service and bad product. Nothing upsets me more than when I try to go out of my way. And when I say go out of my way, that means going to a neighborhood normally I wouldn't go to support and eat something I normally wouldn't eat or buy something I normally wouldn't go out and buy in this type of area because I'm very finicky about what I wear and things of that sort. And then to be gouged for whatever you're trying to sell, and then for the service to be bad and for whatever that product to be bad. That is what is inconvenient and an awful thing. I have this thing. I'll let you go, Dan. Let me just say this. I've always had this thing, this way I've thought about my career in terms of I am here for the long haul. I never wanted to be the black guy that you saw during Black History Month who was selling everything you could think of, every African American leader you could think of on a T-shirt, and then you don't see him again until the next back. I want to be the guy who has a storefront back in the day, or online space, and you know you're going to get a good product, and you can come back if there's any issues. I will resolve it, and we can have this continued partnership. But I don't feel like that happens often enough within our community, and then we're not supposed to say anything about it.
I mean, yeah, I understand both sides of this one, and I know I'm sitting on the fence a lot tonight. But just because I completely understand why we want to clean our house before the outside world sees it, and I think that's what Ocho's ultimate point was to Have that in-house conversation before it goes public. But at the same time, publicly, people need to know, hey, this is a good business. They do X, Y, and Z because it sets an example for any other business coming after that. If you can watch Keith Lee tell you why the food tastes good, tell you why the customer service was good, tell you he'd be back again. If he gives you reasons for why.
I'm assuming somebody just called Dion. He's back. Somebody was trying to call you,
Yes.
I assume.
You know who it was, too.
Go ahead, continue your point. You're all doing a good thing. Go ahead.
So it just it's a he sets an example. He tells you why he likes it or why he didn't like it. And for any other restaurant that it sends out an invite to him, hoping that he comes to their establishment and gives it a good review, he's already laid out the groundwork. So at this point, from this point forward, there should be no more excuses. Other than you're just a bad restaurant. If you have the nerve and audacity to invite Keith Lee, he shows up, and you don't do what you're supposed to do as a restaurant, you deserve to close. Keith Lee be damned.
Yeah. So I got two comments. I got to read the first one. Then we're gonna get to the next one. We're gonna talk about this one. First one is Facebook user says all critique should be accepted, but I think the criticism should be better received from people in that same demographic. Agree there. I'm not sure who said that. Can you see that one, Dion?
That was Aaliyah.
Okay, Aaliyah. Thank you, Aaliyah. Here comes Kat. Normally I would say fake ass book club, but I know this is Kat coming in. She says, I usually give black owned businesses a break because it's harder to do everything when you're black. White businesses aren't constantly fighting a system rigged against them. What are you talking about? How does
There's look, man.
When you
There
put that
is
back
an
up on the screen for people who go
there
ahead, Dia.
there's an underlying current. I understand what she's saying, and there are some businesses that face scrutiny just because they're black owned. We've seen the videos of black owned businesses being harassed by police. So there is some truth to it. I don't want to put a percentage on it, but I wouldn't say the majority of the businesses face that. So
Look here, Kat, at Fake Ass Book Club. We're talking about customer service and bad food, bad products. What part of racism keeps you from delivering good customer service and a good product? Please, what part of that? And
look, man,
uh,
sometimes you be having a bad day, and
no,
these niggas come into your restaurant
no.
with they
Oh,
fucking
then
rollers in their
you better
hair
go find
and the
something else to
bonnets.
do.
They got on their pajama pants that say "juicy" on the butt with house slippers.
Here,
And you know what? Sometimes you just don't feel like giving a woman with a black eye good customer
and
service.
here's the next thing. If and I hate to be the one to say this. If a Caucasian person said they gave a white business owner more of anything because it was a white business, Cat would lose her fucking mind. Her fucking mind. We got to get off of this black business, white business shit. We always talk about wanting to be treated fairly, but we don't want to be treated fairly. We want
There
some
is
type
no
of
fairness
favoritism.
in business. There's no fair.
But we want some type of favoritism. We don't want any type. We want some type of
No, it's
favoritism.
not. It's not favoritism. It's the freedom to fail the way they do. That's the thing that most people don't understand. Is
Fail
that's
and
what
get paid
equality
at the
is.
same time. They want to
Well, no,
fail.
what I'm saying is if you go to an establishment and the owner operator is white, right? The person who owns the actual business is white, but all the employees on the inside is black. When you go into that establishment as a white person versus a black person, the interaction is different. You know that, and I know that. So this idea that there's no double standard, I'm sure there is.
What are you talking about right now? What are you saying? What are you trying to say? I mean, are you agreeing with her? Is that what you're trying to say?
No, I'm saying she has a point. I don't
No,
think
she
it's a very
doesn't.
strong
No, she
one
doesn't. That's
because
not.
it's
No,
a
she doesn't.
minority.
If you want to say she has a point because she's able to speak, okay. But that's as far as it goes. There's no point here. And Kat knows I love her. We just had her on the show. I have nothing against Kat except for she's wrong a lot.
Nah, I'm siding with Cat just a little bit, just a little
I
bit.
wish she was on the show because I would love to see her jaw just drop open with the fact that you would be agreeing with her. Uh, let's see here. Ramsey would light their asses up. Philip gives us that one absolutely.
Let me ask you this.
Yeah.
You and I are both black businesses because we're contractors, you know. So are you telling me that you haven't experienced any type of racism in the contracting business at all? You haven't been offered less than someone who looks a different color than you? That's never happened to you? Because I know it's happened to me.
Well, in what we do, the pay is usually pretty standard across the board in what we do. If I go work a club, someone who has a lighter shade of skin than me isn't going to make more money doing the same job I'm doing on a different weekend.
And I'm telling you, I've experienced that
Okay, well
to
I've
where
never okay, well I've never experienced it. Now, if you ask me this question, do I think with this skin color when I roll in, but when I roll into any place, I'm very aware that I'm this color and I need to go the extra mile. And that's what I'm asking of these black business owners who run these businesses like shit, but expect for us to still come out and support it. You already know going in, if we're going what Kat said, you're gonna have a harder time. Then you need to jump, as someone told me years ago when he saw me standing in my corporate environment. I was a young 20-something-year-old standing in the hallway drinking a cup of coffee with a couple of white guys. And my mentor, Mark Watkins, black guy, walked up to me and said, "Come here, let me talk to you for a second." And he took me about 6 feet or so away. And he said, "Let me tell you something. I never want to see you doing that again." And I said, "What?" "I'm just standing here, just having a cup of coffee." He said, "You need to jump twice as high and twice as far as them. Never forget that."
so
And
you just proved your whole
I
point.
did move. I didn't prove her whole point. I didn't prove her whole point. The point
Yeah.
was no, no. The point is you can know that, and I'm not going to give you any leeway. If you go back, she says, "I usually give black-owned businesses a break." I'm not giving you a break because you're black. You know you're black. I know you're black. Come better, do better, try better.
Okay. So do you never mind. I'm not
No,
even
wait,
gonna
no,
wait.
what are you saying?
I think it's funny that you went on this whole diatribe about how harder it is to be black and how you got to jump twice as far, and then in the same breath you say, but I don't give a fuck. I'm like,
I,
what do you
I,
mean
d-
you don't care?
I don't care because we all have to do it, do better. And
No,
if
we
you,
all don't
no,
have to do it, and that's
no,
that's there's
let
a
me,
reason why they
let,
don't have to jump twice as
I'm talking about
far.
us, me and you, and anyone else who looks like us. And if you, and Dion, and this is the point I'm making. If you, sir, were not doing your best, and so on and so forth, it is my duty to tell you, Dion, get your head out your ass and get your shit together. It is not for you to turn around and say, "What you go? What we brothers? How you go? Fuck all that. Do better." Because
No,
not only you making you look bad, you're making the rest of us look bad.
I understand in certain circumstances, do better is the right response. Obviously, in customer service, you should always be do better. I get that. But at the same time, look, man, if I'm dealing with outside forces and then my brother comes to me and I'm not in the space to handle what he got to say, what you think finna happen?
You gonna say something you ain't
You think
supposed to,
I? I'm gonna tell you about yourself and why are you coming to me when
and I'm
when you
and,
should know that I ain't trying to hear that right now.
and I'm gonna do you like I do black businesses who do not correct themselves. All right, and walk out and be done with
Fair
it.
enough. Fair enough.
And that's that.
That's fair enough. But I'm just saying, like, I get her point. I understand your point. But this idea that everything's fair and equal is it's a load of crap. And black people just want the opportunity to fail the same way white people do.
My hand's gonna fucking pop off with you.
ever run a black candidate who had three different baby mamas,
Absolutely.
whose businesses were failing, right?
We
And
already
so
know
what?
that. We already know
Okay,
that.
exactly. And why?
But this
And
is a
why?
known. This you're arguing the known.
No, I'm not arguing it. I'm asking why is that? Why is that? Why would that never happen?
We already know.
Why would
Answer your own question. You already know why. What does that have to do with this?
do you mean? What does it have to do with it?
What
The
does it have to do?
conversation is why does Keith Lee have to only say positive things about a business or the whole
Right.
point of this situation? Why should he say positive? Because of all of this. That's why. Yo, if you didn't like the food, you don't gotta tell nobody.
No, no, yes you
Nobody,
do.
nobody, no, you don't.
Yes you
You don't even
do.
live there.
And who
You don't
cares?
even.
This is what this
What do you
man
mean? Who
does. This is
cares?
what this man does.
Okay, so you telling me all of his reviews couldn't be positive if he didn't want them to be? Is that what you're telling me?
I'm sorry. Ask that question again. What? I'm
Are
sorry.
you telling me that all of the reviews that he posts they couldn't be positive if he didn't want them to be?
Are you? I guess should he say something positive even though something positive didn't happen? Is that what you're asking?
No, 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 no. I'm saying if he had a negative experience, does he need to make a video on it? No,
100%.
he doesn't.
This is
No,
what he
he
does.
doesn't.
This is what he. Oh, so he's supposed to be the happy-go-lucky food critic
No,
everywhere
no,
he only talks about positivity.
I'm not saying that. I'm not saying he has to be. I'm saying he has the option. And
Um,
so,
is he fair or not?
if
Is
he
he? You want him to be fair or not?
is it not fair to keep your mouth shut if you don't got nothing nice to say? Is that not fair?
Get out of here, man! Don't come at me with that.
I'm just asking.
Don't come at me
I'm
with
asking.
that. No,
I'm
that's
legit.
no, it's,
If
no,
you
it's not
if
fair.
you
If
don't want
you,
to answer, I'm asking the people
I'll
in the
be happy
comment
to answer
section.
it. If you out here, if I'm Keith Lee, hell, I'm Sidney Smith. I'm out here and I'm a whatever it is, TikTok food critic, whatever he wants to call himself, which and has got some type of following and fame from it, which he obviously has. I'm not going to go into a restaurant and be like, oh, this wasn't that great. Let's not review this one. wait till he goes to a place where it's good and review that one. Unless that's not his brand, obviously.
No, 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 no. I'm not saying not review it. I'm just saying you don't
Okay,
have to post the review.
get out of
That's
here,
all.
man. Get out
You
of
don't
here,
have to
man.
post it.
Yes, you do.
I'm just. I'm no.
Yes, you
He
do.
literally doesn't. He literally
Yeah.
doesn't.
If
He,
it's
he
what you do, you do.
every restaurant in the country wants him to come through their doors and have him say something nice about them. So it's not like he's hurting for content. I mean, the man doesn't have to pay for a meal for the rest of his life if he really don't want to. So
Or how about this? How about if he sends his family in, you don't tell them they can't get seated until you find out that they're his family, and then all of a
but
sudden we can make accommodations for you. How about that? Could the restaurants
how
do
how
that?
is how is that any different than them knowing that that's how it works? If a celebrity walks through the door, they get preferential treatment. Why?
Ooh,
Because
ooh. How about
how's that
you?
any different?
How about you? The table that you could have gave these regular folks, you had given it to them before you knew they were Keith. You only given it to them because you want a good critique from Keith Lee. So in essence, you're giving the man the power to be able to say whatever he wants to say about you.
The only reason businesses do anything positive is for good reviews. Duh. It's
Then
business.
then do what you're supposed to do to get the good review.
They
Duh.
that's what I'm saying. If a celebrity comes in, a regular rando person has to wait at every single restaurant. There's not a restaurant in the world where if a celebrity pulls up, they're going to tell them, "Nah, man, you got to wait because we got these two people who made reservations an hour ago. They're coming in." No, that never happens ever since
I'm
celebrity became a thing.
I'm gonna rename this show next week. Now Dion's wrong again. So,
What are you talking about?
what are you
Like,
talking
of
about?
course, celebrities get preferential treatment at
Don't
restaurants, and if
Dion. The
and you're
only
saying, well,
the
they
only
shouldn't do that when Keith
the
Lee shows
only
up.
right answer is to do your job correctly. Then you don't have to worry about any bad reviews. That's the only
Right. And
correct
if a
answer.
celebrity comes in, what's the correct thing to do?
If
Treat them
any,
specially.
okay,
Right?
okay.
Right? Because a regular
No,
person
we
doesn't have
accept it. No, we only accept it because people who are sitting there love to
no,
see
no, 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 no,
celebrities.
no.
And you and I, let me finish. And you and I only accept it because every once in a while we get some recognition and get treated special. That's the only reason why it's fucking shit's accepted.
It's a business transaction that is mutually beneficial
And
for a
so is,
celebrity and a restaurant. There is not a mutual benefit. The restaurant doesn't get anything other than your money if you go in there and have a good time.
but
You
Dion.
don't tell anybody, you don't bring anybody back. It's a
And you know what else happens when a celebrity comes in? You get your food before everybody gets their food. They make sure your shit is on point, way better than anybody else's shit is on point.
it's
The
how
chef,
business works.
hold on, let me finish. The chef will even fucking come out and fucking come out to want to talk to you about whatever fucking was prepared. You and I both know these happen. You and I both been sitting at the table when this shit has happened. The point is, what happens when regular Joe Blow fucking walks in? How is his food prepared? What type of service does he get? This is what the review is about.
Okay, fair
Julius,
enough.
hey, I still love you though.
I disagree, but
I still love you though. Julius White says black people know good service and swear they can get away with half-assing sometimes. So that's what Julius has to say there. Facebook user says we only accept bad service from Jamaican restaurants because the food is always going to be smacking regardless.
who said that?
I don't know if you can see who said that.
Oh, that was Aaliyah.
Okay. Philip says 86% of businesses owners have no business experience. That is true there. Of course, here's Lee Jones comes in with Lee Jones. So we know Lee. You
No,
call.
that was me tagging him so he'd stop calling
Oh,
me.
got you. Okay, I thought that
Idiot.
was you. All right, let's see here. Philip also said if you have the proper people, policies, procedures in place, you can succeed in any business. Julius also says good service, good etiquette, and just all around great service has nothing to do with your race. It's all attitude. I agree with that. Facebook you says most of Baltimore black owned anyways. I'm not sure where that person was going with that. I don't know who said that or where they were going with that.
Katrina is saying she's from Baltimore.
Okay.
So has
She,
he done Baltimore yet? Does anybody know? I don't follow Keith Lee, so I mean I'm aware of him through
I don't
Twitter.
I don't, but I would love I'm sorry, who said put that most of Baltimore is black owned anyways?
Katarina.
Katarina, are you saying that he came through Baltimore and gave good reviews? Is that what you're saying? Or are you saying something else? I would love to know. Julius White says, no, you've had a bad day, and I'm paying you to take that bad day in the back and bring my food out with a smile. Please, I smiled at you. You're going to want a tip. And I'm going to tell you something, Julius. When I send food back, and I do send food back, I don't eat shit else. They're like, can I get you something else? I say, absolutely not. I'm good. I'm good.
I hear the sentiment, but until you've been behind the curtain, the double doors of the server rack and what you go through, sometimes the customer service is bad and it isn't the server's fault, and yet you still have to eat that experience from the person that you're serving. So, as someone who put many years into it, look, there are days where everything is going wrong. There's nothing you can do about it. The service is going to suck, and you have to take that as a server, and you're making 213 an hour here in Indiana. So there are times where, look, if my service wasn't up to snuff, but you can clearly see that it's extenuating circumstances, then I hope that you would give me the benefit of the doubt. At the same time, if you go into a restaurant, you have poor customer service, the wait time's long, the food's not any good, that's your experience. That's what you know. And so you can only talk about what you know. The time I went there, it was trash. And that's what all these Yelp reviews are about. I've never written a Yelp review in my life. I'm never going to. If I go to a place, I have a bad experience. Put your hand down. If I go to a place and I have a bad experience, I just say to myself, I'm never coming back here.
It's
You
got to
know,
be pretty bad for me to do a Yelp review. So I don't have many. I think I got three. Like the Apple Store a couple months ago really pissed me off, and I wrote a thesis paper of a Yelp review on that. But to your point you're making, and I started out with this, you're right. I want you to control what you can control, and what you can control as a hostess, as a server, is your attitude and your effort. You're right. There's shit that happens in the kitchen. We've all been to restaurants after church on a Sunday when it's packed. During a holiday when everybody decides I'm going to come out and I'm going to order takeout, whatever. We've all been through that. And that's why I started out. Even if everything else is shitty, if what you're presenting is good, I will still tip you. And I'm a very good tipper. I'm normally 20% is my base. I only go up from there. And so, and there's been times where I'll walk away and I don't leave shit. And I have no problem with doing that. Just ask the people in the window at Starbucks. So
they shouldn't be getting tips
one
anyway.
100% not. I agree with you. I'm looking for you to control what you can control, 100%, and
Right.
and
But
most of it
but
is your attitude.
you got to understand too that when the bad attitude happens is also important in the context of the story. If you've been through a hell shift, right? And I don't know if you guys have ever waited tables, but there are certain times during the day that a restaurant is busier than others, right?
Mm-hmm.
During those
Mm-hmm.
rushes, if the system goes down, if somebody doesn't show up to work, if you're covering, the amount of stress and anxiety that you get dealing with 30, 40, 50, 60, 70 people, depending on how big the restaurant is. I've had sections of 60 before. There's literally no time to fix anything that goes wrong. You literally don't have time because you're trying to take care of all these people. And so I'm only saying this as someone who's been in the trenches is that there is things that the everyday diner doesn't understand about a restaurant and why their service was the way it is. If you've worked a 6 hour shift and you've been getting your ass whooped, and then you have a table that comes in, sits down, you go to their table, you're like, hey, this is the situation, and they don't give a fuck. Like, the chances of that wearing on you, uh, table after table after table. Look, man, people are only human. I'm not saying it's okay. I'm just saying think about that the next time that you're like, man, I haven't had service this bad in a long fucking time. Like, it's rare for people to have bad service, and just because most businesses have people who like the job and are there to make money.
Look, unlike Trump on his first day, if he gets reelected, I'm not a dictator. All right. so, so
He
I
said he said day one.
day one only. Look, man, I understand people have bad days, but also I didn't snatch you in a van. I ain't drop you off here. I ain't put that Applebee's shirt on you and tell you to wait these fucking tables. You chose this life. All right. So figure out how to make the best of it. Go have a fucking cigarette break. Let people know I'll be right back. Go take a quick five or and come back whatever excuse you gotta fucking come back with. But come have a fucking good attitude on, or you need to go. Amazon's hiring. So figure it out. That's all I'm saying.
Again, telling people to have a good attitude while they're going through hell
But
is
they're
a
not going
weird
through.
flex,
They're
but
not
you
going
keep
through.
doing it.
They're not going through hell. They having a bad day at work like everybody else does. They
If
don't get
there's
to.
an
They
hour
don't get to have.
long
I don't
if
care.
there's an hour
I'll try not
long
to say
wait
it, but
for
I don't care
I
because
know you don't.
I don't because everyone has a fucking bad day at work.
Okay, so you can't so what are you mad for? Just don't go back to that restaurant. That's all I'm saying. There's no need to
100%.
blast the
Yes,
there's no
there
need.
is. If I'm a
No,
food
there
critic,
isn't.
restaurant critic, that's what I do. That's what I do. Or if I have a Yelp review, I'm a Yelp reviewer, Dion. That's what I do.
You're the worst kind of us.
What's that? What's
The
that?
worst kind of people who write reviews irritate me sometimes. It's just like, look,
I've only written three. All right.
that's three too many for you,
Nope.
sir.
Probably
I
not
mean, if
enough.
you're not reviewing a product positively, what are you doing?
Is there anything on Yelp I can review you on? Because I'm going on right to this show.
Yeah, I want you to Yelp review this podcast and how great I was
No,
tonight.
no, just you. No, no, won't be positive. Won't be positive. All right. Okay. Talea is with us. What's up, Talea? She says, LOL, what is going on here? Just tuning in. Thanks for jumping in, Talea. Hopefully you are all caught up. Oh, looks like she is. Because she says, exactly, Sydney. Talea is another one. Team Sydney. I told you. I'll rename the podcast. Now Dion is wrong. I mean, it screws up the whole thing with all the merch and everything. But you know what?
I feel like your viewership would decrease if you did that.
First of all, it's our. All right. Talea says, preach Sydney Smith. Thank you. And she also says, being a black-owned business should not require accepting shitty service. 100%. Life would never be fair and equal, she says there. And then, of course, here comes Kat. Here comes Kat. You have to egg her on. Kat says, yay, Kat and Dion won this one. I wish I had my sound effects going. I do. You know what? I'm going to give you one of these, Kat. There you go. So take it back to that. There you go. That's Roxy says, how is he going to be transparent if he only posts the positive reviews? His whole brand is based on being honest and transparent, and the reason why people gravitate towards him. Roxy says it best. Thank you, Roxy. Dion looks like he wants to say
Right.
something.
Again, but there's a difference between lying and not telling the truth. So if a restaurant invites him, he comes, it's not good, He doesn't enjoy the experience. He doesn't have to say anything. And by not saying anything, says everything. Because if he only did positive reviews and you knew you invited him to your restaurant and you don't see that on the TikTok, I think you know. So, with that being said, I completely understand the flip side of the argument where you guys are saying, "Nah, man, tell the whole world why it was bunk, and they need to get their s together." I completely get that. Personally, I'm not the type of person to write a review. I'm just
Okay.
not gonna write a review. If you ask me my opinion, I'll tell you. But I ain't finna get on the internet and type up a bunch of this is why this sucked. Lisa was late. She didn't bring me water in 13 minutes and 49 seconds, so I got up and left. Like nobody needs to hear your reasons for
I
why you hated something.
I
You
can't wait to
just
be on our
say,
show.
look, this didn't work for me. I didn't like I keep the negative things about my experiences at places to myself for the most part. Unless it's something completely egregious that is like way beyond the norm, but showing up and a server forgetting your ranch or your order came out wrong and then they didn't cook the meal the way you wanted to cook, like those type of things. I don't need to get on the internet and say, oh look, at Tuesday at Applebee's, the cook Jeff made my steak medium well when it was supposed to be medium. Grr, like that's just
Well,
unnecessary.
stuff like that is the customer's fault. You never order a steak at Applebee's. Why the fuck would you order a steak at Applebee's? So that's on
I
them.
get steak there all the time.
Fuck that shit. Wouldn't even. Yeah. Okay. Facebook user says yes. In most cases, keep your mouth shut if there's nothing nice to say. But if you are known for critiques and getting recommendations to do reviews, then he should be honest, nice or not. I'm not sure who said that. Is that Aaliyah?
That
Who's
was
that?
that is Aaliyah.
Aaliyah. Here's the problem with that. Is the one thing they teach you when it comes to business as a business owner is that you are more often, and you can go to Yelp and see that this is true. You're more often going to get 10 times as many negative reviews as you would a positive review. People were happy with their experience. More often than not, they say thank you, had a great time, they leave and they go about their business. Most reviews you're going to find are going to be negative. So whether it's him or it's someone else, no one's going to keep their mouth shut. If the experience was bad and it was due to controllables, more often than not, people are going to talk about it. And that's the only problem with keep your mouth shut. That's not what happens. Facebook user says he definitely should be able to give his opinion 100%. It's the whole reason he is famous. It's what he does for a living. If you were a comedy club critic and you had an awful experience, you wouldn't give a real review. That was a question
That
to you, Dion.
Yeah, that was Dana.
Okay.
I'm not a comedy club critic,
Get
but
him,
if that
Dana.
was my
Get him,
if
Dana.
that was my job and had a bad experience, depending on my mood, I probably wouldn't say anything because I love comedy at the end of the day, and I don't want any comedy clubs to close. So I'm not telling if the reason why a comedy club would be bad would mostly be because of the people they put on stage. And I've been all over the country. That's happening everywhere. So, I've even been to Canada and heard some bullshit. So internationally, it's happening. So I think comedy clubs are a little bit different. Now, if the customer service is poor and the food sucks and the drinks are terrible, well, that's not the reason you're there. So I don't really care about that. I don't, if you go to a concert show, you're getting gouged for the rum and coke that you're about to buy, the vodka tonic that you're getting. You're paying more than what it's worth. For what? The experience. So get two bottles of water and enjoy the comedy. All the other stuff I don't really care about.
I might have to rename the show. Now, Dana's right. At least I'll give it some consideration, Dana. I'm going to give it a little consideration. Julian
Now they
says
know, right?
a good restaurant would take the customer who's regular because that customer comes once a month better than the star who comes once a year. Julius, I honestly, God, I don't know where those restaurants exist because if a star walks up, they're normally going to let that star push
Well,
past you to get that table,
it,
good or
the
bad.
regulars at a restaurant get treated very well because we see them all the time. That's just what happens. The more you come in, the more we interact, the more we get to know each other, the better your service is. That's just how it is. That's just how the industry works.
We got some ha-has in here. Danielle Marie is with us. What's up, Danielle? Larry Skiggin is in the house. He says, hi, everyone. What's good, Larry? You
What's
can
up, Larry?
take that shitty Miami Dolphins shit down. But yeah, what's good? Just trying to make you,
Number one seed in the
just,
AFC.
just trying to make you feel at home, brother. You ain't been around a while. Danielle Marie says, I generally will tip even for bad service, but not nearly as much as good service. I still leave 10, I assume, percent for bad service or having an off day. You'd almost have to dead ass punch me in the face to get nothing. 100%, I can agree with that. Facebook user says, Sid side eye with two laughing emojis. And yeah, he almost gave me the smack of the lips, too. I don't know who said that, Facebook user. Side eye and the smack of the lips.
That was Aaliyah.
Julie says diners understand they just watch too much TV expecting 5 star at a 3 star. Julius, I would agree with that. I mean, I know some people who go to Applebee's and think and act as if they're going to Morton Steakhouse or some shit. So yeah, I would agree with that even as a non-server. Let's see here. Facebook user, we're almost down to the last ones. We're gonna switch topics. Thank you guys for jumping in and watching with us. Stick around with us for the next one. Dion will be giving you guys the lowdown on it. Facebook user says, I personally always tip and do not say a word because at least they showed up to work. People do have bad days. They're trying at a shit paying job. And Talia says, self accountability is everything. How you act is your choice. And Julie says, they don't exist. I just said a good restaurant. All right, Julius. A little spicy. Feeling a little spicy today, Julius? Julius, you throw it. I say it next time on it. I said they don't exist. All right, go ahead.
As a server who's gave good service and received zero tip, um, there's so many factors that go into serving other people. And when you do your job well and get nothing, human nature is human nature. You say control what you can control, but sometimes you can't control your attitude. Sometimes you are just pissed off and you don't have time to go smoke a cigarette and calm down and get to the next table. I'm not saying it's okay. I'm saying I understand that it happens. And as someone who's been on both sides of the aisle, I always err on look, this person's having a bad day. It's clear, it's obvious. Nobody wakes up and goes, I'm going to give the shittiest service I can give today. And those people who do that don't come into work tomorrow. So it's one of those things where if you get bad service, it's so rare for it to be the norm.
Mm-hmm.
What restaurants are you going to where you're getting such poor service? It's never been my dining experience.
I don't get terrible service very often, to be honest with you. I don't, but I don't.
So what
Whatever.
was that side eye for? What
We're
was?
not. Well, I'm just saying everything you talking about is just Julie says you guys are awesome. Great topics. I got to go to work, and yes, I have been a server. I understand, brother. I understand. So right there, Julius, your fellow serving brother,
Thank you,
like
Julius.
y'all in the military, he understands what you're talking about.
Have a good night at work, brother. Appreciate you joining us.
Absolutely, Julius. Hey, don't try to beat me to it. Julius still my homeboy. Julius, thanks for watching, brother. I'm with you and your peoples. Talea says I can empathize. That is challenging as a server. You may not be compensated. Look here, Talea. Don't let him soften you with the compensation. He does this every time.
I'm just
Every
saying,
time we
man.
talk, when he has nothing else, we don't get paid that much, or they don't get paid that much. He goes that
They
route
don't
every
get paid
time,
that much.
every route. All right. Chelsea says I'm here, but not here. If that makes sense. Chelsea, stop typing. So, so it says I'm here, but not here. No, that does not make sense. All right. Look, let's go to our next topic. Thank you guys. You guys are awesome with that. Do not change the channel. We are the longest running show since the pandemic. Rock with us, Di. What we got?
So, former number one draft pick, I think it was in 1993. Joe Smith
Right.
was a NBA basketball player. He played for drafted by Golden State, then bounced around the league. A couple teams, Minnesota and somebody else. I don't remember. I think Orlando maybe. But he was a millionaire. He had lots of money, and
I think he made
he
like
was
30,
number
40
one.
million career, something like that.
Yeah, he was he was number one draft pick, so he got the pick of the litter when it comes to the women. So the woman he chose to marry was a dancer, if you will, of the exotic variety, and
Well, you changed your voice.
she. I don't know why I did that, but
Players Club.
she recently posted on social media basically her husband getting upset with her about her starting the OnlyFans because He could no longer maintain the lifestyle that she was used to, and so she told him publicly, uh, I got OnlyFans. You knew that when you met me. This is the type of woman I am. I have a certain amount of lifestyle that I'm looking for, and you're not providing it. You're broke, you dusty, and I'm leaving you.
Yo, yo, extra shit. It's always extra.
I mean, it's basically what she said if you saw the video. He's on the video. He's saying, "Why are you embarrassing me like this? I'm your husband. I had to find out through the internet that you had OnlyFans. You didn't even tell me." She was doing it behind his back. So he was really crestfallen and heartbroken. His stripper wife of however many years they were married has an OnlyFans, and she didn't tell him. And
I was laughing. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
so I bring this question to you guys: Is she in the right for, hey, you knew my lifestyle, you knew who I was when you met me. You can't be mad that this is what I'm doing when we don't have any money coming in. Or do you agree with Joe, who she did him dirty? She should have never gotten OnlyFans, and till death do us part, better or worse, that type of thing. Is she wrong for leaving
Look, man, when your wedding song is "Scrub the Ground," round and round we
him?
go. What?
Whose wedding song was that?
Anybody who was a stripper that got married, that's who. If all the bridesmaids dance like this coming down, you made a bad decision, bro. It is not her fault. It is his fault. You know why? Because he married a stripper, and she's right. You knew what you got. Have you not ever listened to one Too Short song? He says, I don't know how many times, you can't turn a hoe into a housewife. He has told you. He has led the way. You were not paying attention. And who decides to put a rock on the finger of a stripper? How big do you think your dick is, sir? It is not that big to fill up the crater that she has with that vagina. There is no way. You are wrong. And you know the other thing that you wrong for? You wrong for letting her keep that phone on you when she was telling you she got an OnlyFans. You gonna stay in view of the camera? Everything I would have had to say, I would have been behind the corner of that wall. You would have never saw my face. Everything I would have said was, I'm gonna kill you if you don't get out my house right now, take your stripper ass, and get the hell up out of here. Dead wrong. You can't turn the hoe into a housewife. If you out there even thinking about putting a ring on the finger of a stripper, unless her daddy is rich and she just stripping because she ain't got no other time for anything else, or she just trying to lose a little weight, you a fool. You a fool.
Losing weight by stripping.
Hey,
This bra weigh 14 pounds.
bruh, some of these women out here be doing some stuff to lose weight and taking stripper classes and all that kind of shit. That's the only time your wife should be on a stripper pole is if she's taking a class so she can come home and shake her ass in the bedroom for you. Other than that, there ain't no reason for her to be on a stripper pole. Before
I
marriage
mean,
or after.
how was she gonna be his wife if you never went to the strip club?
You should have took
Yeah,
your ass to the supermarket. That's where you should have been at. That chick that had one eye that was just a little bit lower than the other eye that you turned your nose up to when she was testing out melons, that's the bitch you should have married.
the number one pick of the NBA is supposed to marry a droopy-eyed melon grabbing bitch. Is that what you just said?
Look who he did marry. And now look at him. Now you doing Vlad TV. Talking about how all your money's gone.
I look. It was a bad look for her to do with her husband like that. I don't care if he broke or not. You ain't had no reason to do your man's like that. If he ain't making the money he used to, you ain't have to put him out live. You ain't have to blast. Again, this is part of the first topic we talked about. She ain't have nothing nice to say about that man. She ain't need to tell the world that he wasn't making the money. We all know he ain't played a game in 20 years. There was no need for her to go down the long laundry list of reasons why she was doing what she was doing and go live with it. That was something that should have stayed in house. The same thing with Jada Pinkett running her goddamn mouth at that table every day. Shut the fuck up. We don't need to know your business like that. Why are you embarrassing your man like that?
Except
This
for
is unacceptable. I don't care how broke he got. I
excuse me,
don't
sir.
care.
Except for one thing. We're all caught off guard because Jada wasn't a stripper. All right, so that's what I'm saying. Look, man. It's the scorpion and the frog story. I would give the abbreviated version of it if you never heard it. For anybody who hasn't heard it, I'm sure Dion has. Scorpion and the frog, very simple. Scorpion sitting by the edge of the pond. Frog comes up, says, "Hey man, why you just standing here?" Frog says, or Scorpion says, "Hey man, I need a ride, and I can't get over, I can't swim." Scorpion says, "All right, I'll give you a ride, but you got to promise not to sting me." Scorpion says, "Oh man, that'd be great. Thanks for offering the ride, and I promise I won't sting you." They're going across the damn pond. Scorpion's on top, just sunbathing. They're chit-chatting about what they're going to do when they get on the other side. And guess what? The Scorpion decides he's going to sting this frog. Frog says, "Holy fuck, why'd you do that? We both going to drown." Scorpion says, "Hey, I'm a scorpion." So that's it, man. You marry a stripper. This is how your life is going to end up, bruh. You married a stripper, bruh.
Again, I understand that he married a stripper, and that was probably not the wisest decision.
Well, then,
But that's your wife and that's your husband. And where is the mutual respect that you're supposed to have? Like she doesn't lose all humanity because she takes her clothes off for cash. Like
what lets you? What more does she need to do to let you know she never had any of that mutual respect from the word go?
I don't know, maybe all the years they spent together. I don't know.
No,
I'm reaching for straws here. That was a very good question you just asked me.
I, because of some comments over here. Talea gives me a Sydney and she's laughing. Danielle says, "I remember Sid saying a woman should never be broke, hungry, or homeless because we have the tools to level up when we need to." Danielle, I did say that. I did say that. I just said that 2 weeks ago, too. It'll be on my special. Misunderstood. Don't forget to get it when it comes out. All right, so waiting for your face to change. All right, Will Brett comes in. I think he's trying to bring some levity. He said, and he's on YouTube watching us. Thank you, Will, for checking us out, brother. Thanks for coming back. Will says she's wrong because she kept it a secret. She could have told him and let him decide if he want to stay or not. All right, okay. I would say to you, Will, he didn't marry a librarian. He married a stripper. And,
So
and
he's supposed to be thinking that she's a stripper no matter what. Just all
100%. 100%.
he's supposed to come in the house. You know you a hoe, right? And just walk right
What?
by, eat. Is that what?
100%. 100%. And Will, I guarantee you, had Joe been doing his due diligence and went through and checked some of them bags and purses and where she got bras stacked up, he'd have found dollar bills. She probably ain't never stopped stripping. Never stopped stripping. 100%.
I have to agree that it should always be in the back of your mind. But I can't excuse the disrespect that she did her husband that way. Even if she's a stripper, I don't care what her occupation is. I don't care if she's homeless. You ain't have to go. You don't have to embarrass your spouse like that.
She don't, but he didn't have to stay in camera shot either. He following around the house talking about this. What are you doing?
Well,
If you don't drop kick that phone, that's the only reason I kept watching it. I was waiting for him to either murder her or drop kick the phone. Either way, I thought there was going to be great content at the end. But he just stayed in camera view, looked like he was getting ready to cry with an ashy face and ashy knuckles. And so there were two things I could. And let me tell you how much I was not surprised by this stripper embarrassing him like this. The thing that I was locked in on was how ashy he looked and how dirty this house looked. I was like, yo, you supposed to be a millionaire, bro. You living like this? You got lotion bottles on your fucking. It was just crazy to me. No wonder she fucking got an OnlyFans. She can't expect her to live like this.
it's her house too. Why? If it's dirty, it's her job to clean it up, ain't it?
She's a stripper. Strippers don't clean. Strippers hang out by the pool, work out, sleep, do some extracurricular activities to make some extra money on the side after work hours. Then they go to work.
You gave me that voice. It reminded me of the Chappelle Show sketch when they were playing basketball with Prince.
Oh,
He's like, good job. I'm not on your team.
please smack them on the ass. Smack them on the ass.
I'm a stripper, bitch.
See? What don't you get? We not together on this. We're
Yeah.
not together on this. Talea says, no, Sydney, don't do it. I think she's talking about the dancing. We're not going to slut shame Sid. We give me. I don't know who said that with two laughing
That
emojis.
that was Aaliyah.
And I quote him on that often, and I also probably lived that shit too. Danielle fucking Marie. All right, let me go ahead. Talea says, Sydney, there are former strippers who are now great wives. LOL. Yes. And that is like a motherfucker hitting the jackpot on a slot machine in Vegas, if that's the case. That don't happen that very often. Normally, you just an old man sitting there with a couple of quarters in your fucking bucket, your popcorn bucket, just pulling on that arm, hoping that this shit go right. That's why you don't do it. Rocky Perez says he also allegedly got ripped off by a previous reality star for like 100K before he married this woman. Something about the whole situation isn't right. His decision making. That's what's not right.
His
Yeah,
choices.
I mean, and I have a hard time feeling sorry for him because the NBA, NFL, they all do like the symposium for you when you're coming into the league when you're a young man, saying, "Hey, man, you don't marry a stripper." I think they also do it like they did it in college. Look to your left, look to your right. One of you is gonna be stupid enough to marry a stripper. Don't let it be you. so, Talay says, "I think it was an act. I hope not. I hope that this is true because you just embarrass yourself."
Not wishing it on the man.
I,
I hope it's true.
I would rather that be the case than this fool to be acting up. Just let her make an idiot.
It would be more plausible if it was a little sketch and they were trying to get views for her OnlyFans.
Darian Couch, what's up, Darian? Darian is one of my first shit before podcasting was podcasting. We had an online show. I should say he had an online show. Brought me on as a co-host many years ago back in Detroit, man. So I got to give everything I'm doing right now as far as the podcasting and all this stuff up. I give a lot of credit to Darian, to you. For that, brother, for taking a chance on me all those many years ago. So thanks for watching the show. And Darian says, strippers gonna strip. So, all right. Facebook user says, the Scorpion says, I'm a Scorpion. It's in my nature to do so. 100%. I gave the abbreviated version, but you are correct.
That was Lee.
Oh, really, Lee?
And that's why he calls me on a Wednesday when he knows I'm podcasting.
Will says, damn, Sid, tell us how you really feel about strippers, LOL. And then Talea says, I'll be right back. Facebook user says, strippers got to make money too. And then Talea's back. She says, too funny. Di, really?
That was Dana, by the way. The strippers got to make money too.
Oh, okay. Di, anything else you want to add to this? I mean, I know I kind of took it over a little bit, but anything?
I feel bad for him that he married a stripper and she stripped on him. She stripped him of his dignity, his wealth, Sydney's respect for his basketball career. She just stripped it all away, and I hate that for him. I think her behavior was detestable, and she marked herself for any future relationship that she tries to get into. Hopefully, it's
Shit. If one thing a stripper know how to do is they know how to find another sucker.
well, she's in her like 50s, 40s or 50s. I
You
mean,
don't lose that skill.
she's not a young woman anymore. So I'm saying her options for what she's been accustomed to, are going to be really limited. So, that caliber man is not going to come by and pick up a woman who's just did what she did. And so I hope it works out for her. Otherwise she's going to have to go the Kevin Samuels route and buy a dog and die alone.
Well, I feel sorry that they did that video and that house looked unkept. So I, I'm a I'm a big fan of cleaning up around your spaces before you take any dick pics, any vagina pics, any of your little pics you want to put up there, embarrass your husband. Anytime you gonna do anything, if you don't have a maid who comes in to cleans up once a week, and you maybe should do it on that day, maybe pick up a little bit around yourself and don't move around so we can all see how you're living. Nobody wants to see that. That's what I feel bad about. So I hope both of you find love and a housekeeper because that was embarrassing. That was embarrassing. Di, what is your what the hell for this week?
What did I tell you at the beginning of before the pre-show meeting? I don't even
You, you,
remember
you
what I
said you knew what it was, but you didn't tell me what it was.
Oh God, I don't know. Fucking forgot. Arguing back and forth with you and watching you go off on strippers
You
took my
are
mind
you be
elsewhere.
talking about me being older because I'm the older brother here between the two of us. You old as shit over here.
Yeah, I'm losing. This is like 2 weeks in a row. I
You better,
think
you
that
better
I.
start writing shit down. Where's your car at?
Yeah,
Where's your car at, Grandpa? You know where you park?
yeah. It better be right out front. I can tell you that, or that'll be about what the hell. What the hell? Why they steal my damn car?
Where my keys?
My keys are right over here. So
I can't
yeah,
remember. I parked in the parking lot.
I have left my keys in my car overnight out here before.
Motherfucker forgot your coat. So yes.
Yeah.
Put a blanket in the car. Would you put a blanket in your car just in case you needed
I
one,
got a
man?
hoodie.
All
I got a
right.
hoodie.
What is your
Got
what
a
the hell,
hoodie.
old man?
I can't. I honestly, bro, I cannot remember what it was. I think it had something to do with the open mic last night. Um,
You talk about the woman, vagina.
what?
The woman, the comic, offering it up. Was it that?
No, but that was funny. I probably should tell that story, but
Yeah. Yeah,
we're
tell it.
out of time. You want me to tell it?
Yeah, yeah, tell it.
So
People stay and listen.
this this woman, she was an amateur comic, and I use the term comic loosely. She was a woman talking to a microphone, and there's not a lot of people at this open mics, maybe 15, 20, mostly older men. She comes out. She's an older woman, probably in her early 50s. And she's talking about how men her age ain't shit, blah 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 blah. And she's like, I'm a cougar. I'm looking for the young guys. And most of the comics there are young guys. And it was silent in that room. Not one person was like, yeah, I'll do it. Normally you get a, woo, something. It was, I mean, you could hear the ice machine in the back. That's how quiet it was in the room. And nobody addressed it until I got on stage, which I thought, you got to say something. I've never seen a woman try to give her vagina away, and nobody, and I mean absolutely nobody, was like, all right, I'll take one for the team. There was no there was no Hunger Games. Everybody was just like, nah, I'm good. Normally they say take a step forward if you volunteer. Everybody took a step back at the exact same time. And that poor woman was on that stage for 3 or 4 minutes just embarrassing herself. So I guess my what the hell is what the hell is up, ladies? If you're gonna give your vagina away in public, do it on OnlyFans.
See? See? Facebook user says in their 60s, guys either want a nurse or a purse. Yeah,
That's Miss Susie.
I knew it was Miss Susie. Miss Susie come in out of nowhere. You get the applause and the DJ. Miss Susie comes in out of. See, told you, you never know when Miss Susie's watching. You never know what she's
What
watching.
is the purse? What does a man want with the purse? Does she
I
mean
think,
money purse?
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Okay, okay.
But like I was told years ago, you married the first time for love. And this is before people got married three, four, five times. You married the first time for love. The second time you get married for money.
Makes sense. I mean, if you lost all your money in the first marriage, I don't know why you would think you would get more money in the second marriage, but okay.
Well, I mean, even dudes with money normally want to have someone not because I married for love the first time, or I married because she was beautiful, whatever it was. The second time, she need to bring some bread to the table. I know dudes with plenty of money, but you need to bring some of your own money over here, and we're gonna sign the documents over here. So if it don't work out, you go that way, I go this way, and you keep your money, I keep mine. But you need to bring some bread over here because I've already done this other thing before. And I know women who have thought the same thing, where they had the bread, they were the breadwinner, and they got married out of love, and however it didn't work out, and come back. Somebody said that fixed income ain't doing it. Is that Miss Susie again?
Yes, it is.
Oh, she ain't said shit all night, and she come through with two winners. All right.
Social Security ain't what she used to be. Ain't what she used to be. Any chance I get to sing that song, I'm taking
All right.
it.
My what the hell is it's a little bit early for the Christmas traffic. All right, and the holiday attitudes. Share the aisle, man. Y'all out here bumping people, bumping me. Absolutely unnecessary. I thought we got past this after Black Friday. Y'all out here straight tripping. Now I know things are higher priced and there are less items, but that's because that's what they want. They want us fighting over shit at Michael's and Kirkland's. What are you talking about, man? Trying to help out over here.
The hell are you doing at Michael's? You got to get some fabric.
You see these frames back here? All right. I don't,
Oh yeah.
I don't make those. I mean, the one for the Magic Johnson jersey was made, but not by me. All right, so need some frames for my stuff back there. But yeah, man, just take it easy, enjoy it. Just take it easy, chill out, be cool. Fool, go to school.
Shop online.
There's always that too, because we always end up buying
Get
everything for Amazon anyway.
get your front porch robbed like we supposed to.
It ain't Christmas unless all the presents are gone. Was that you talking about the video where they took the Christmas tree? No, Dave. I was talking to Dave today. He had a video up. He's supposed to send it to me. They came up and they just cut the straps and took the tree right off the car and was going with it, man. Took the Christmas tree.
People, I hate thieves. Stop stealing, especially during Christmas time.
Facebook user says, "Oh my God, I agree. Every store playing Christmas music and people everywhere. Where the fuck did all these people come from?"
That was Dana.
100%. All right, you guys are awesome. Thank you guys for rocking with us on a Wednesday. This is probably one of the biggest crowds we've had in quite some time. So thank you. Click that share button if you're still with us before you go, and spread the word.
Yeah, thanks for tuning into another episode, guys. Catch you next week.
See you next week. Shut it off. Just shut it off. It's my other voice.